Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 23, Book 1, Querzal, the Swamp Monster. And starting off a new series of Beast Quest is of course Series 23. The next season, Series 24, should be coming out this month, but you know, it's a good time to get back into Beast Quest by reading up these books and see how we do. So yeah, finished up Querzal, had to get back into these because that's part of the channel as well. But yeah, so let's get through with this. Like always, in-depth story analysis and then my overall thoughts on this epic adventure. So let's go. Tom and friends were celebrating Queen Aroha's birthday, and after a story about King Hugo's long-lost brother, who was presumed dead by the northern barbarians, it was revealed he was alive, and he had come with an army. Hugo called off his men, shocked to see his elder brother alive. So that's an awesome way to start, having King Hugo's brother come back. Our heroes greeted Angelo, the king's elder brother. He had with him one of Tom's old enemies, Capra, the witch, and the mother of Petra. Once inside, Angelo explained that him and his forces fought off against the barbarians and their 4 deadly beasts. He said it was Capra who healed his wounds, giving him the second wind he needed to claim victory over his enemy. Now Angelo was revealed to be alive. The crown was rightfully his by birthright, so passing it over, King Angelo made Harkman scrub his boots, which made Tom have a bad feeling about this. As soon as it was mentioned that Hugo had an elder brother, I knew he'd come back to retake the throne, because that's what they mainly do in these stories. Tom woke up next morning to see Capra had been sent to order Harkman into increasing the royal tax, so that the money was put up for even further protection for the kingdom. Harkman argued that the kingdom need no more protection, and he refused to go through these orders. Having the captain stripped of his rank and sent to the dungeons, Tom tried yelling at King Angelo about this, but that resulted him being stripped of his magical belt and his shield tokens. I'm not sure if he still has the golden armor power though. So yeah, great. Already a lovely start. First, Harkman, it's a typical, King Angelo abuses his power and disagrees with how things run around here. I like Harkman standing up, but as the king, he takes what he wants and does what he likes. And he takes away Tom's stuff too. That's a great way to show how our hero is loved. Ah, you've got a great hero. Let's screw him over a bit. Great. Tom was thrown into the same cell as Harkman. It's still shocking to me. It's still shocking to me to see how much Harkman and Tom now care for one another since their bumbling squabbles in the Elder Books. Tom remembered in the fight, Angelo fought with his left hand, which, while the legends state he's famous for using his right hand. My theory is this is just an imposter Capra cooked up. So the real enemy to me, in my theory, is Capra, and she's like the puppet master. That's what I think was going on here. Adro came in, also worried when suddenly Tom was escorted outside to have his head chopped off. But before meeting death, he was shown a cauldron by the king. It was all, I can't speak today. It was melted gold, the remains of the golden armor. Tom no longer possesses any power, and with no allies around to help him, it seemed to be truly his end. I like this villain. I like this King Angelo. If it is King Angelo, we don't know. I like this King Angelo though. He does what I would do. He does what I would do. Magically remove Tom of his powers, then melt the golden armor. Damn. Shame we have to wait this long in the series to get this villain, because he's the most effective villain so far by focusing on the hero. And yes, true, Malvel did that too, but not on like removing his powers type way. And if he did, you can correct me in the comments. But yeah, so Tom no longer has the powers. Tom was saved by Eleanor, of course, and after a scuffle she led him to Daltek, who gave him his sword and shield. Then Daltek created a portal to a swamp in the wildlands. It was up to Tom to put everything right. While Daltek watched the new king, they arrived, and so while Tom and Eleanor are going to put everything right, Daltek's going to be secretly observing the new king. So we got a setup going for the plan. So while they arrived, and while at first Tom was sad he had lost his powers, Eleanor reminded Tom on how his quest began. He then had nothing, but in the end he claimed victory, and he still got the vast experience. So yeah, in his early quests he did have nothing, but over time he grew stronger as a fighter and became a pretty good master of the beasts, proving an honor to his father's memory. Plus he still got Eleanor, so it's not a total loss. After some walking, our heroes were attacked by a living tree. Deja vu! Tom mentions that the golden armor is gone forever, but I'm sure in a world with magic there are ways it could return. Tom told Eleanor to stop struggling. The more they struggled, the tighter the beast would put pressure on them. The beast, known as Querzal, uprooted himself and walked off with our heroes. Soon enough, Tom got free and did his best to keep Querzal at bay. But Querzal soon got used to Tom's fighting pattern, picking up his feet and putting him near his mouth, as his sword lay down on the swampy grounds. Tom was about to be eaten by the beast when Eleanor came tossing a projectile, which actually pushed Tom to sink down into the swamp. It didn't kill Querzal though. How do I put this? Yeah, it pushed Tom into the swamp. So the projectile didn't kill Querzal though. Tom thought his hope was lost when he spotted Querzal's heart. So Tom's now at the bottom of the water while Querzal's above the water. And he sees that the roots is Querzal's heart. Tom's weakening. With his fading strength, he just managed to impale Querzal's heart, reverting the beast back to a tree. A tribe of people came out claiming to be barbarians, who revealed some information that make our heroes suspect Angelo has been lying to them. The tribe's people agreed to share more info if they would hold a feast for Tom's victory. It was agreed, and they followed the tribe's people. Still aware that there are 3 more beasts out there. So yeah, it's an interesting start with Querzal. It's a good start. I think I did pretty well for it. You know, a few scuffles here and there, nothing too major. So like always, characters and then my overall thoughts. So Tom this is Tom in a bad state, which is justifiable because it's the first book. You know, he's bound to have some bad karma. But this is like the worst he's ever gotten. His entire powers are ripped away from him. And then you've got this new villain, Angelo. But yeah, the new villain Angelo pushing orders against him. Then you've got Capra coming back. Everywhere he goes, he can't get a break. Even with the Beast, with his weakened state, now that his powers are gone, the Beast surprised him. And Tom just really can't get a break. He's really struggling here, and he really hopes that we can bring him back around. But thanks to Eleanor and Daltek and all his sidekicks and his inner strength, he manages to defeat the Beast despite his lack of power. So this one book gives Tom his own little character arc, where he starts off strong, loses all his power, and despite having no power at all, he manages to save the day and beat the Beast. Eleanor gets the side role, but she does save Tom a few times in the book. One at his execution and one at the Beast stuff, so it's great that Daltek gets sidelined, so I'm not going to go over him. King Hugo should get more of a major role, but he kind of doesn't. He just lets his big brother walk all over him, which he kind of does because he respects his brother. But speaking of which, we'll go to his brother now, Angelo. If this is Angelo anyway, because it could be an imposter like before, because we have had fake characters show up before on the show. Not the show, but the series of books. But, you know, Angelo, I'm going to call him King Angelo because that's what he is for the time being until we discover otherwise. But King Angelo, he's an interesting villain, very smart, going to remove Tom's powers. which he believes he should do so because like I'm here now. We don't need a new Master of the Beast. I'm the perfect warrior. All that stuff. So he does that. He removes Tom's powers. He dismisses his brother. He gets rid of the captain, and he treats everyone beneath him, apart from the people apart from his own army and his witch Capra. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on about this guy. Where I want answers to, of course. I'm curious to see how it's going to go with this villain. And hopefully, whoever this character is, if this character is revealed to be someone else, like a new villain or like a villain who can change his form or something like that, I hope he sticks around because he proves to be a threat, or she, depending on who it is. But if it's all Capra's doing, I hope we get more of Capra because she's an interesting villain because there's probably stuff we don't know. But yeah, that's an interesting stuff going on. And the same goes with Capra. I don't know much about her because I've heard of her. She's from a special, so I'm interested to see more about Capra, how we go through with this. But that's pretty much it for Quetzal, the Swamp Monster. Not much. All we get is a lot of questions, and we don't get any answers to, apart from a few little breadcrumbs here and there. So it's a nice setup. It's a nice starter book, I would say, with such high stakes at the start and lots of questions. And it just implies it asks more. So there's not much to compare it to when it comes to the other books in the series. But when it comes to starter books, it's probably one of the better ones because of how it starts up its stakes. You know what I mean? But there's my overall thoughts on Quetzal, the Swamp Monster. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, go subscribe, that good stuff. Hit the notification bell right in the corner down below, so you can stay in tune with all Beast Quest related topics on this channel and various other content on there as well. Join us next time as we continue on Series 23 with, of course, the next beast, Crotax, the Tusked Destroyer. Till next time, guys, peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 23, Book 2, Crotax, the Tusked Destroyer. And here we are again, another exciting adventure of Beast Quest. Yes, it's been a very long time, but I had a lot of stuff to take care of. So here we are again. The good news is this is like the last series that I believe has been fully released. So we'll do this one next. So, here we go. So like always, in-depth story analysis and my real thoughts on this epic adventure. Tom and Eleanor were gathered around a campfire after feeding Quetzal. Our heroes were thanked by the tribe who feared the swamp monster. Now to show their thanks, they gave information on the history of what happened in the wildlands. They needed it after King Hugo's elder brother, Angelo, had taken the throne and was acting out of character, even destroying Tom's golden armor and removing his other powers. The chief explained that a warrior's son still lives, who could explain in detail of what happened to Angelo. However, another tribe showed up and demanded a new sacrifice for the beast that roams their lands. Sadly, the chief's daughter had been selected. Refusing to start a fight, she decided to accept, leaving a dramatic blow to our heroes. Tom and Eleanor, despite what the daughter wished, asked the chief if they would let them help their conflict. He doubted at first, but eventually agreed, showing them a route to take. They caught up with the tribe, fought them off, and of course, the daughter, known as Laika, was at first worried if the sacrifice didn't go through, Crotax would be released. Tom vowed to make a change in this, despite his lack of powers. Despite his lack of powers, he wanted to help. So she agreed to help her escort them towards the other tribe, where Crotax will be awaiting. This happens a lot. Tom learns a lesson in a previous book and has to be reminded of what lesson. It does happen a lot. Tom learns a lesson in a previous book and has to be reminded of that lesson a book later. Last book, Tom thought he couldn't win without his powers, and despite having no powers, he defeated Quetzal. Yet here we are again, with Tom still doubting himself. We also get some more proof that Angelo has been lying to them, of course. Tom and friends made it to the fortress, and after some stealth, they spotted the village leader, Jax. They saw the village leader, Jax, offer some victims to Crotax, who was revealed to be a mighty mammoth. Now the victims would suffer the terror of Crotax. So that's that. Crotax was about to eat his victims when our heroes spotted a device known as the incense burner, which tamed Crotax to do their bidding. Our heroes quickly tossed the burner away, making Crotax go out of control. So enough. Our heroes freed the victims, and Tom came face to face with the leader of the tribe, Jax. An epic battle ensued, and while the fight raged, Tom still wondered if he could win despite his lack of powers. Tom soon changed the tide of battle. Then he regained his inner confidence that he could win without his powers by using his inner strength, throwing the incense burner in Jack's face. He lured Crotax towards the evil chief and ended up tossing him, which caused his neck to be snapped and his death to be certain. Yep, so he's dead. Jax is dead. While I was annoyed that Tom's still upset about his powers, I liked that the writers found another way to deal with this fight between Jax and Tom. It was emotional. It was emotional. It had great action and it had some good payoff. Because Tom was doubting himself in that fight that he couldn't win, but he changed the tide of battle, had inner strength, and he overcome it by taking the incense burner, which is the source that lures the beast over, throwing it in his face, and the beast's gonna finish him off for me. There we go. Tom now had to face Crotax. It went pretty well until Crotax ventured out to where Eleanor and Leica had hidden the prisoners. Tom tried to distract the beast, and with the help of Eleanor, he did. Despite Eleanor's arrows immune to Crotax's powerful armor, she used spears to annoy the Tusk Destroyer. With Tom's inner strength, he cut off one of Crotax's tusks. Mind you, the artwork in this chapter shows an image with Crotax having both tusks. Shows an image of Crotax having both tusks after Tom is said to have chopped it off, so take that as you will. Anyway, Leica tried to tame Crotax, but after that backfired, making Leica fall off. Leica suddenly got some inner courage to face Crotax despite her injury. That didn't last long, however, so Tom, during his fight with Crotax, was told that the armor had a clasp on it. If Tom could remove it, they had a chance of defeating Crotax. Tom wished he had his golden boots. That would be so easy to jump on him. But Tom found another way, tricking Crotax into a cave, making him stumble and fall. Tom unhinged the armor, however Crotax was not done. However, he did seem happy to be free of the armor, no longer a slave to a master. And there goes my impression if you can hear it in the background. Eleanor's arrows now proved effective, which made Crotax go after her. Tom helped Leica free the captors, and he rallied the tribes to help defeat Crotax for good. So there's that. The villagers helped Tom finish off Crotax by jabbing a giant spear into his body, killing the Tusk Destroyer. The shaman emerged, and while the people wanted to kick his ass for his cruel behavior, Tom made them spare him so he would give them information. He told them of the great battle that Angelo did. He told them of the great battle, and Angelo did win, but he did die after succumbing to his wounds. At first Tom didn't believe him, but the shaman showed the body with the royal ring passed down from King Theo, which told Tom that the Angelo back at Avantia was an imposter. I honestly suspected this ploy. Mind you, we should be a bit hesitant because the shaman did do a sly smile at Tom, just saying. Anyway, Tom vowed to get this imposter and reveal the truth, blah blah blah, ending the story. But yeah, there was Crotax, the Tusk Destroyer. Overall, it's kind of like a revived version of Bloodborne, I would say. This big, powerful tusked beast with armor on it that it seems unstoppable, but Tom finds a way to outsmart it and get the armor off it, kind of thing. Eleanor does get some. Let's go over the characters now. So I think it's a good story overall, and round to the character section. By the way, but yeah, there's my little analysis on the story though. A few scuffles here and there, but nothing too major, I think. So character section. Tom, again, his message is the same. He doubts himself that he can't win without his powers, unlike in previous books. But after fighting Jax, the tribe leader, and eventually killing him, and then later on with Crotax, he really proves that he can win without his powers. probably we're going to get the same message again next time. But yeah. Moving on to Eleanor, though. Eleanor, she doesn't get shafted. She actually does prove useful. At first, her arrows prove not to be effective, but once the armor comes off, she does also give some information about helping out with how to beat the beast. She helps out with rescuing the victims and stuff. So she got a lot of good stuff to do. Leica is a side character in this one. She's a better side character than previous ones, but her recklessness leads her into trouble. But overall, she thinks of her people, so there's that. Jax is an okay villain, but he didn't last long to make an engaging threat, so there's that for you. So that's really all the characters that felt necessary to say. I guess the last one that could be the Shaman. Again, the Shaman could be a bad guy because he could be lying to Tom about this stuff he's saying, but the evidence is there, so take that as you will. As for now, I'll say this Angelo at Avantia is probably an imposter, so I'm sticking with that boy, but I don't really fully trust this Shaman guy. All in all, I think Crotax the Tusk Destroyer is a great sequel on carrying on the series of Series 23 from Querzal. Is it better than Querzal? I probably would say yes, because there's more action involved, there's less setup involved, so you get straight to the good stuff, and all this questions and answers and all this prove your worth. So I think, yeah, it's a better book than Querzal for the whole, like, you can be better even without your past powers and stuff. So I think it's better that way. Even though, like I said, the message is rehashed, I still think it proves good. But yeah, there's my little wrap up on, of course, Crotax, the Tusk Destroyer. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the good stuff, hit the notification bell right corner down below, so you can stay in tune with all these special related topics on my channel and other stuff that is there. Next time we'll be carrying on with the Shattered Kingdom. Our next beast is of none other than Tor the Sky Snatcher, and that looks like an interesting beast to face. So join us next time when we face that awesome one. Until next time, guys, peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest Series 23, Book 3, and that of course being none other than Tor the Sky Snatcher. And I will straight off say it right now that this is the best book in Series 23. When I did my order last time, it was Torka, and I think Crotax, was it? Just check. Was that what it was? Yeah, it was Crotax. And then I said Querzal. But now I've rearranged my order. Crotax is the worst so far, Querzal is second best, and Torkor is the first. And I say that because I think like the idea of what the story did with the whole destroying all of Tom's abilities and stuff was something so unique. I put that above Crotax. If it was just beast-wise, I would say Crotax is better. But if it's, story-wise, Querzal is better. Crotax is basically another muscle-pounding brute that Tom has to overcome. Anyway, all that being said, let's get on to the story so we can move on to this awesome video. But yeah, before I mention, of course, like always, in-depth story analysis, so if you haven't read this book, make sure you do so, all that stuff. That being said, let's go for it. Tom and Eleanor had now discovered the truth, that Angelo, the brother of former king, former king, who was at the palace of Avantia, was an impostor, as he had found the body of the true Prince Angelo, with a royal heirloom as proof. They took the ring to bring, so that they took the heirloom to bring, so that they would return. They would have evidence that they need. Leica, the girl who helped them on their last quest, forced the evil shaman dude to create a sight mist, a magical spell that would turn them invisible and see whoever they wished to speak to. She warned them that this was a chance that would not end up with them. They wanted it, and this spell would take them to Avantia in a spiritual sense or something like that, but they wouldn't actually end up where they want to be, kind of thing. So that's what she was warning them of. But our heroes were willing to take that risk and entered through the portal. Tom and Eleanor went through a void and arrived at Avantia. They saw that Hugo's castle had been turned into some sort of evil lair, of course, like previous things, so some bad stuff has happened to it. Soon enough, our heroes found Daltek and told them that they were invisible, thanks to the aid of a shaman. Tom informed Daltek of information that they had found in the wildlands and demanded a message be sent to Hugo at once, so he could reclaim his throne. But then a guard showed up, making Tom and Eleanor lose transmission on what happened to Daltek. So we don't know what's happened to Daltek. He's been questioned by a guard. So that's interesting. So for all we know, they either the forces of Avantia know that they're coming, or we don't. Well, we don't know at this time. Tom and Eleanor now needed to get back to Avantia more than ever, as feared what happened to Daltek. So Leica told them the quickest route to get back is through the cold winterlands, but she warned them there's a beast that roams those lands. Tom, feeling a bit worried, still ventured forward. He had to help complete his quest and help his people. After some travelling, our heroes saw some men with cattle. Tom couldn't risk a confrontation, as he no longer had his powers to back him up. But after more pacing forth, they spotted a baby cow in danger. Tom, being the hero, refused to let an innocent life die, and jumped in the frozen waters to rescue the calf. However, the weight was too much. Without his powers, they were gonna die together. So Tom was saved as the cowherds came back to help Tom and the calf. They heated them up and showed their gratefulness by offering them a guide to get them through the mountains and to stay away from the beast known as Torka. Okay, Torka. Henrik, the cowherd leader, explained that Torka would come and steal cattle as sacrifices for her pleasure, but if she saw a human, she wouldn't mind the substitution. Then he revealed that two women had been taken by the beast, which made Tom want to help. And a few moments later, Torka appeared, ready for action. Oh wow, that's an interesting ploy there. Normally, you get told the beast, and it's like you have to wait a bit to get to it normally. But in this case, Torka, after the story mentioned, Torka's right there. Tom and Eleanor fought off Torka as best as they could, with the aid of the cowherd named Ash. However, his flares seemed, because the cowherd had some flares on hand, seemed unaffected against the beast, allowing her to steal a cow and fly away. After some discussion with Ash, Tom believed there was a chance the women who had been taken by Torka were still alive, and after a further hiking towards Torka's lair, it seemed to be the case, as Tom could hear a female yelling. So yeah, that's interesting. We get introduced to the flares, which will come later into play in the book, but they already established that the flares have no effect on Torka, which is gonna... I've read the whole book, and I'll tell you this, the flares do come into play, and they do affect Torko. So that, there is kind of confusing. But other than that, yeah, we do get some information saying, oh, the women could possibly be alive, we have hope, and then we back up that hope when Tom hears a female crying out. So there's that for you. But yeah, let's carry on. Tom found where the cries were coming from, and they soon discovered it wasn't the women who had been taken, but Petra trapped under some logs. Despite being one of their enemies, they let her out, and they asked they need her information on her mother Capra. She claimed that she thought her mother was dead, and she left her to be a victim of Torka. But before any further info, Torka emerged, capturing Eleanor. Tom was determined to save Eleanor. Tom had some explosive flares which he planned to use on the Sky Snatcher. He climbed to a high vantage point and had two attempts to trying to stop Torka. They failed because Tom didn't have the golden armor, which gave him both physical and mental strength to help complete his goal. With the odds stacked against him, Tom tried to change his strategy. He lured Torka after him, and timing it right, he tossed a flare into one of Torka's beaks, exploding and making the head lop down dead. The weight of the dangling head made Torka crash, while Petra saved Eleanor. Tom had to finish Torka before she recovered, but it was too late. Torka was recovered more faster than expected, despite the crash. She now was more angry than ever. But yeah, I do like this chapter here. This is interesting, how Tom, without his powers, finds other ways to... I mean, it's done in the other two previous books, but I think this is the best way handled so far, with how he uses... That's the way I wasn't thinking of, like, killing one of the heads makes it drop down, and the weight is like a sandbag, and it's pulling you down. So, that makes it harder for Torka to fly. But she still crashed, and when she did crash, she has a good healing factor. It's like she's still ready to fight, but her wing was also damaged in the fight, so that's crippled now. But yeah, it is an interesting chapter, and it shows both the strength of the beast and the strength of the hero, so that's very good stuff, which is why it's probably one of the highlights in the book. But let's carry on. Torka chased after Tom, who fell on an ice lake. Tom thought he could use the ice lake to his advantage, making Torka's own weight be her end. However, the ice was more thicker than Tom expected. Petra threw Tom a flare, making him light it and toss it under Torka's body. It exploded, making the Sky Snatcher sink to her watery grave. Tom carefully made it back to his friends and thanked Petra for the help. But their quest wasn't over. They had to tell Hugo of the news they had discovered. Petra admitted she knew a faster route, ending our story. But there it is, guys. My attempt at doing none of the course than Torka the Sky Snatcher. And overall, it's, like I said, it's the best book in Series 23 so far. And I've explained why. It's got great highlights for the monster, the beast, I should say. Great highlights for the hero. The side characters, Eleanor, yeah, she becomes the damsel, but yeah, that's a bit of a downer. I wasn't expecting Eleanor to do something much. And she kind of gets the shaft. Petra comes back, which is nice. And she, of course, the more and more you see her, the more and more she's acting like an ally than an enemy. And that seems to be still progressing forward, which is a nice progression for her character. As for Torka herself, she's a very interesting beast, but her one strength is also her biggest weakness, her heads. Since she's a flying beast, she needs to keep her weight balanced in order for it to work. I think it's what we did. It was also mentioned with that horrific book, Karaka, where she had lost her balance in some way, which made her crash. But yeah, despite the crash, she still has a great healing factor, and despite her damaged wings, she still was determined to get after Tom what he did to her. And I'm calling Torka a her, by the way. Probably it's got multiple genders with the multiple heads thing. But yeah, I do really like that concept. But overall, there's Torka for you. Up next, we'll be wrapping up Series 23, which will be, and how I pronounce the name, of course, Xercon, the Shape Stealer. Or if you're going to be that other guy with the X pronouncing it as a Z, that would be Xercon. Oh, is it? No, Xercon? Yeah. Xercon, which is E-R-Can. Xercon? I think Xercon is a better sounding name, so I'm pronouncing the R as my... It's hard to pronounce the name, really. Xerkan. Xercan? Xercane? Because A and A, so it would be Xercan. What's the cane? Xercane? Xercon. I'm going with Xercon, because Xercon, but not R. But you get the idea. Xercon is the Shape Stealer and the wrap-up of Series 23, and he's next. But you're going to be that other guy, like I said. You can pronounce it as Xercon? Xercon? Because it wouldn't be Zera, because there would be an extra E on that. But you get my point. The point is, I'm pronouncing it as Xercon, but you can pronounce it however you like. But that being said, he's up next. And that will be wrapping up Series 23, which is a very impressive series of how it was handled with the villain, with the story it's going up, like who is this mysterious character. I do always like that vibe with these stories. And I'm looking forward to see how Series 23 comes to a close with the final beast. The Shattered Kingdom seems to be one of the better series so far in the Beast Quest franchise. And after that, Series 23, there will be one more official Beast Quest series. And not like that it's ending, it's the last series of books that they made to this date, because we're approaching it now. They haven't all been officially released, only 2 have been released, and the other 2 will be coming out later next year, on January, I believe. But I know one of them is. I know for guarantee one of them is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this Series 23 ends. I'll see you guys next time. Like always, leave a like, comment, go subscribe to this stuff, hit notification bell right corner down below so you can stay tuned for all Beast Quest related topics on my channel and various amounts of other sources that are there too. I'll see you guys next time. Merry Christmas and all, and hopefully we'll be wrapping up Series 23 after I do the Christmas customs, so maybe January 1st? Who knows? Something like that. But, you know, I've got to push it back a bit because Christmas is in the way, so kind of have to. But maybe I'll do it December 26th, probably. because, you know, that's another opportunity to do it. With that being said, I'll see you guys next video. Lego Christmas Customs await. Till next time, guys, Lucas Green, signing out. Next time. Peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest. Series 23, Book 4, Xercon the Shape Stealer. The conclusion of Series 23. Wait, yeah, 23, I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure I'm on Series 23. I've got my notes. I always have to second doubt myself, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, 23. But yeah, Series 23, of course, Xercon the Shape Stealer. And I must admit, like many books, this is probably the best book in Series 23, but again, I've said in previous reviews, not really a surprise, normally the best one is the best. But that being said, let's get through this epic adventure and my overall thoughts on it. So, here we go. Remember, of course, if you haven't been gathering in these reviews, you realise, make sure you've read the book before watching this review, otherwise, why else are you watching? Nonetheless, let's get to it. Okay, Tom, Eleanor, and Petra had now defeated Torka. Petra was gathering ingredients, and Petra said she would help in exchange for Eleanor apologizing, in which she grudgingly did so. Petra made the potion, and after a zooming ride, they were right outside the castle. However, some soldiers spotted them, and they were accused of being traitors to Avantia. Meanwhile, Petra teleported out of there, leaving our heroes at the hands of the soldiers. I should also mention when Petra mentioned of the when Petra mentioned of the final beast, Tom this time refused to stop it. Yeah, Tom refused to stop the beast. That's a weird thing here. Petra mentions about the final beast, but Tom refuses to fight the final beast because he wants to save Avantia and get the news to Avantia. It seems more important, which is odd because normally Tom would take care of the beast first before accomplishing his main goal. An example being Spikefin, where, you know, back in Series 9 I think it was, Tom really wanted to go and stop Malville, but he felt like he couldn't risk watching innocent people die at the hands of Spikefin, so he went to go and stop him. But this is kind of the reverse now, where Tom's like, no, I'm focusing on the main goal, I'm going to after them and not the beast. So that's a really risky move there, but okay. Tom and Eleanor were taken to the dungeons, and while they were heading out, they soon realized the soldiers were not Avantian soldiers. When they got to the cells, which they shared with Daltek informed them that Angelo had released the most cruel criminals to form his new army, and he sent a message to Hugo. Soon enough, Daltek sent a message to Hugo, by the way. Soon enough, Captain Hartman revealed himself and informed Tom that he was forced to work with Angelo, but now he switched sides. So Tom gave him the family heirloom of King Angelo to prove that the one king in Avantia was an impostor. However, Hartman transformed into Angelo. He had now taken their only piece of evidence, and now our heroes were more curious than ever. Who/what was this King Angelo impostor? Okay, I think I have a theory on who this impostor is, and I'm surprised it took me this long to put it together. I believe this impostor to be the final beast, Xercon. If you've seen the title, he's called the Shape Stealer. Yeah, he's called the Shape Stealer, which is what we just witnessed him doing in the end of chapter 2. And secondly, when our heroes break out, they come across some tapestries with the 3 other beasts, Corzol, Crotax, and Torka, but no Xercon, which is suspicious. Anyway, like I said, Eleanor managed to break them out with a spare arrowhead, and they soon found the real Hartman and him. And him and Daltek were gonna recruit as many followers of King Hugo as they could, while our heroes searched for Angelo. After some sneaking, they bumped into Capra, who used her magic to capture our heroes. Petra stopped her mother and convinced her to reveal the identity of the fake king. which of course is Xercon. Big surprise. Petra and our heroes convinced Capra to help them, and it eventually worked. So Capra led them to where Xercon was. Apparently he needed sleep when he shapeshifts. That's apparently what he needs. When he shapeshifts. He needs sleep when he shapeshifts to sustain himself with rest. It's also revealed that Xercon was the leader of the other three beasts of the Wildlands. So Capra led them, and our heroes confronted Xercon, making him reveal his true form. Xercon smashed through the bed, and our heroes tried to attack with their weapons, but Xercon revealed he could heal instantly for every attack. So if our heroes couldn't hurt him, they planned to trap him by using the environment around Xercon. It worked, however. The soldiers were outside the ring planning to break in, and by the time they entered, Xercon had turned back into Angelo, forcing our heroes to jump out the window. However, that wouldn't stop Xercon, as he had sent the soldiers to take aim. Suddenly, Hugo and Aroha arrived with the Tangalian forces. Despite Xercon trying to convince Hugo to back off, Capra snuck up on Xercon and stabbed him with a knife. This caused his true form to be revealed. Xercon forced the Avantian soldiers to still work, otherwise he'd destroy his own army. Scared of Xercon, they aimed their weapons at the former King Hugo. As the two armies fought, Tom and Eleanor slipped out to stop Xercon from escaping. He was hiding in the deserted city. He then spoke that he would steal that appearance and use. He was going to steal Tom's appearance and use Tom's image to lure the good beasts to him so he could kill them one by one. Soon Avantia would be defenseless. Soon enough, they found Xercon using his claws to climb a wall. Our heroes took cover as he threw rocks at them. Soon enough, Xercon had left, and when they emerged, they saw King Hugo, who told them they had won. But then another Hugo said the other one was an imposter. Who was the real Hugo? The Hugos fought until one of them had the other one pinned down at sword point and was planning to kill the other. This was enough to tell Tom he was the fake. Stabbing that Hugo, and stabbing the Hugo was going to kill the one on the floor. Tom mentioned the real Hugo would never kill neither beast nor human. Tom was right. As Xercon revealed himself, Queen Aroha suddenly stepped in. She pushed Xercon back on horseback, making a tower crush on the body, killing the final beast. So Queen Aroha finished off Xercon. A few days later, the soldiers recovered the Ring of Angelo. The soldiers recovered the Ring of Angelo. Adro then joined, explaining it was passed down from Angelo's father to him, but Angelo never got the chance to pass it to Hugo, so in a way, Tom helped deliver a piece of his brother to him. Hugo put on the ring, claiming one day Prince Thomas would earn the family ring. The Majesties felt bad for Tom losing his powers, but Adro reminded them that Tom started off with nothing but his inner strength, and that was his greatest weapon to keep on fighting despite the odds. So while this might be the end of Tom's powers, the Master of the Beasts lives on to fight another day. But yeah, there it is, guys. The final book and my analysis on Series 23. Bit of a few scuffles here and there, but nothing too major, I found. You can see, I was surprised that it took me this long to figure out. Xercon is kind of a similar book to Koba, in a way, with the whole shape-shifting bad guy who's been behind it all along. Mind you, I feel like Xercon, well, he's been there since the very beginning, while Koba was like halfway through. But yeah, it has a few vibes similar in that regard. But yeah, I'm surprised, again, like, it took me this long to figure out that this mysterious villain was actually the final beast, because we haven't had that for a while, and it caught me off guard this time. I know Beast Quest is planning to redo some of their series with like new spin-on things, like we've had like the Trial of Heroes and stuff like that. So there are a few good stuff there. Let's go over the characters now. Starting off with Tom. Tom, throughout this entire series, is doubting himself on the powers, which is understandable. He has occasionally lost powers before, but one set of them. But this time he's lost them all, and it seems for good. And I say it seems in quotes because we never know if he'll get them back, because, riders can do that. But, for what it is this is probably Tom's best way of coping with loss of power. So as he goes through each story and gets better and better, and eventually he takes down Xercon himself. And yes, I do pronounce the name as Xercon. If you pronounce it as Xercon, more power to you. Xercon. Anyway, nonetheless, though, Tom is a very good hero, and it's not just that he finds ways of saving the day without his powers. He also found a way to outsmart the two Hugos. Like, he stabbed the right one, because like real Hugo would never kill an innocent, or never kill anyone, which makes me question why he carries a sword, but okay, whatever. Maybe it's just for self-defense, I would imagine, because a king would probably need that. But yeah, moving on though, let's go over to Eleanor. Eleanor, again, she gets shafted this book, doesn't get much to do, but for what she does get, she makes her presence known. Petra kind of gets more to do than Eleanor, which kind of makes sense, as she's the one who's needed to help bring her mother back. Well, back not really, but stop her mother, tell her to join their side. And it's shown that they bond a bit better, because it's from what we do. I don't know much about Capra, but it seems like from the start of series 23, Capra left her daughter with Talker. That's a beast, and it's kind of a bad thing to do, but she feels bad for that, and in a way, and they make amends and cut good stuff there. So there is a bit of character development for those two. And if it wasn't for Capra, we wouldn't have the identity revealed of Xercon, so there's that. But then again, like I said, I kind of pictured who it was halfway through this book, but I'm surprised. I will clap my hands for the book series. It took me halfway to. The cover had the answer, but I, for some reason, didn't pay attention. I thought, oh my god, if Tom goes this path, he not help the people, then the beast will destroy them all. Luckily, that wasn't the case, because Xercon was behind this. Moving on, Capra doesn't really get much to do, apart from her emotional turn to help the heroes. Hugo and Aurora just show up at the end to, reclaim his title. I do like how they finally get the ring back, and like, oh, it's a way of Angelo and Tom helped deliver the ring, so that Tom and Hugo could finally get it and continue the family gene ring. Got it. I do like that. And they do have a nice final note for Tom's loss of powers, and that he always will be a great warrior without them. I think it is one of the better books in Beast Quest with its whole message of that. But yeah, you never know. Tom could easily gain new mystical items or receive the old ones back, because riders can do that. But yeah, overall, Xercon the Shapestealer is a fun book to read, a nice conclusion to Series 23, and it is a good time to do this review because next month, I believe, around January 2020, and most of the books for Series 24 and 25 are being released around then. And from what I've looked up on the wiki, there is a Series 26 in the works with titles already underlined. But yeah, so there's Series 23. I'll be making I'll put all the videos together to make a full in-depth review version of the whole, so you can see all of them back to back to back. Again, this isn't my, I always stumble in these reviews, but, I'm glad you guys still like them, because it really means a lot to me. But with that being said, I'll see you next time for the next video. And for next time on Beast Quest Reviews, we'll be tackling onto Series 24. And that series is, well, according to the wiki, it's called Blood of the Beast. Not Beast, but Beast. So that's interesting. Series 25, which is released, is called The Prison Kingdom. And Series 26, hasn't been released yet, but its title is called The Banished Empires. Interesting. But yeah, the next beast I'll be doing of Series 24, Blood of the Beast, is called Electro the Stormbird. Must be a reference to a Marvel Spider-Man villain. But yeah, till next time, I'll see you in, well, we'll see. I might see you before January, who knows. But that'll be all from me. I'll see you next time, guys. Till next time. Peace.